Hello and welcome back to On to Workbench. Today we're taking a look at the new Kobalt 24 volt max brushless, cordless, tabletop tile saw kit. I know that's a lot of words, but this is basically a cordless tile saw with a bunch of features that I'm really excited about here that I want to share with you. So we got this in, and so you can find this at your local Lowe's for about $380, give or take. And so what we got here, we got the basic specs here on the box. We got a 20-inch rip capacity, 14-inch diagonal, fast and easy setup. Don't really know what fast and easy means. Let's take a look at the rest of the box. On the back of the box, oh wait, more of the same thing, just some shipping labels. Other side of the box, nope, nothing. So let's open it up and see what we get. All right, so we got the box open. Now we're gonna see what all we get in the box. First thing on top, we've got a bag with our user manuals. We've got what appears to be a water catch on the backside, a bevel stand. So if you need to cut an edge bevel, you've got this that you can use to go with your rip fence. Set in the styrofoam, we've got our blade guard. The other piece of styrofoam, we've got our wrenches. Hopefully there's a place we'll be able to store those on board. That would be great. More styrofoam. Tool is all nicely bagged up. On the edge of the tool here, we've got a 4 amp hour battery. This is the new 2022 style. It says Kobalt instead of having the Circle K logo. Out of the box, this has 1 bar charge. Clearly, this will need to be charged before being used. 4 amp hour. Also included is the new basic battery charger, if you will. This is rated at 85 watts. Nice upgrade over the old basic charger. So we got this, and we'll need to plug in the battery and charge it before we get to testing. And then the grand finale is the tool. All right, with the accessories out of the box, we've got what you might say is the front of the tool. And you'd be mistaken if you thought this. This is where the on-off switch is. Even has a nice little safety piece you can remove. And the battery slides in. But alas, that is not the front. That is the side. The left side of it, if you will, if you're the operator. And then we've got a couple spots here on these feet where you could screw this down to a table or something else, a stand, to be able to put this at a perhaps a more comfortable height than on the floor. Now, the actual front of the tool, if you will, says the Kobalt brushless on it. Looking at the other side, where we have our serial number of the tool, we have a release lever right here, and this is what's going to release or unlock our sliding table. Going around to the back side, you can see there's nothing. You can see the slide or the glide rods for the tabletop back there. And there's this little drip tray here. That's going to mount just right, something like that. They will catch the drippings, and your table will be able to slide right over this, but hopefully return any drippings from this blade slot here back down into the bay. Looking at the tabletop, you can see there's a couple lines here, one for 45 and for half of that at 22.5. And then we've got our fence here, which is split all the way across, kind of like a table saw sled, if you will. There's a little piece of paper underneath it. We can undo this little knob here. Little simple twist, that's really nice. Remove that spacer paper. So there's a nice little locking T-slot there. So if you want to take this fence off, you can take it off. Let's take another look at this fence here. One of the other things you can do with this fence is you can unlock this, and then you can also move it off to the side. So if you want to set this up at 45, or you want to push it up to 22.5 and be able to slide it across, you can do that and have that fence. It does not actually lock down when you do it like it does when it's straight back here. Only in this position can I lock it down. What this does not do, unfortunately, is have any ability to be able to hold this and to make this a variable width. So for example, where this comes to mind is if I've got this 24 by 12 inch floor tile. So obviously if I want to rip it and cut it shorter, not a problem. But if I'm tiling up against a wall and I need to be able to go lengthwise, and instead of making this the out of the stock 12 inches, I'm faced with a couple of conundrums. Number one, do I use a different saw? There is a 24 volt Kobalt handheld saw that you could use to cut that, perhaps. Or you might have to jerry rig a fence with some clamps onto the table and then be able to push that through to be able to achieve that cut. It would have been nice if there was an ability to be able to have a sliding fence and say a secondary fence. If you took this off, that you could make that work to be able to set up a infinitely long rip cut, if you will, that exceeds your tabletop length, for example, on these 24 by 12 inch floor tiles that are kind of stylish these days, I guess. I'm not sure really what's always officially, quote, in style, but I see a fair bit of these 24 by 12 tiles being fairly common now. So that's the one shortcoming I really see of this saw. I'm excited to try this saw out here. So if there's anything you want to see me cut on this saw, put it in the comments down below. And then now over here on the side, if we pull that little push pin down, we can slide our table back. Let me just pull this back. And so now we can line up our tile here and then push it through. And you can see right there, it locked into place. So we're going to have to be really careful with the setting on this knob that when we're using this, we have our free mobility of this to go all the way through. And it will stop you from cutting through the tabletop right there. If I keep pushing, it won't let me go beyond there and cut through my fence and the split tabletop. That is a nice safety catch there. Also, obviously, you got to make sure that your fingers are not in the way too. And so if we go to the back side here, what comes with this here is a ceramic tile blade. Let's take a little look at this. All right, so if we lift this up here, you can see we've got a 7-inch continuous rim ceramic tile blade. So then here at the bottom, there's a little piece sticking up here, a little peg, if you will, and this is going to be our fill plug. So this does two things. Number one, it makes it easy to drain out that mess, so you don't have to pour it out through the top. You can drain it out through the bottom and let gravity take care of it. But it also prevents you from overfilling it. If you look at that, you can see that water can get through there. So if you've got extra splashing around, water will dissipate. Or as you're using the saw, as water splashes out and debris begins to fill in, if your rate of debris going in exceeds the water going out, you also may have some splash out there. But that's also designed to match if you put that plug back in. And there's also a nice little tether on it. I appreciate that tether, that does not get lost or misplaced. Very nice, subtle pain savers right there. And then right back down here is a set of stair treads that says min and max to give you an idea on your relative water level, because you're going to want that water down here to help to keep your saw blade cool for the cutting. Now we have our fence that goes on. We'll go ahead and take out our fence. Our blade cover. This has, if you need to remove this, you can undo the little knob here, turn it, and then this right here, there's a little knob right here on the side, lift it up. There we go, rotate that down, lock that into place, and then you can raise or lower your blade guard here based on the height of your tile. In a perfect world, you want this nice and low so that you're keeping as much water in. I think of this just as much of a water or a finger guard as it is a splash guard to keep water back down, because that's really where you're losing water out of the saw there. And as you can see, the fence here is designed to go right around this blade guard even when it's all the way down. I could push it down a little bit lower and it'll slide right over it. Now let me turn this around again. At the back side, right down here is another min and max fill line. This is a basin shape where it's tapered going down. So you got a quick reference here from the operator's end. And we also have a couple other convenient piece is right here in our saw. If I undo this knob right here, we can lift up this miter gauge here, and we can come back, and then we can clip this onto our fence like this and have 0. There's 22.5. We got some other detents right there, 45, or click it on the other side. And then push that little tab down to lock it in place. Pull the tab back to unlock it. And then when not in use, you can go ahead and put this back in. This little raised piece here is where the clip slips over. So make sure that little black tab is up. Twist it around, lock it down, and you're in. And then right there, we've got another spot. If we take our wrenches, there are 2 of these. We've got a slotted wrench, if you can see that there. And we have a regular hex wrench. And then those can just snap in right down here. And they even give you a little helpful guide here at the bottom. At the slotted wrench can go off to the right side there. And then the straight wrench can go right here. After you finagle the wrenches into place, they'll hold right there. So now what's left is this adjustment, or the bevel tool, if you will. See these little 3 slots right there. There's a couple little teeth at either end, and the spots right there. And then this just sets right down, locks into place. You've got some small adjustment for how far back you want to set it, particularly if you got thicker tile and you need to make an inside or an outside corner. If you're doing wall tile or bringing wall tile down to the floor and need to make that angle, there you go. You can set that down there and then try to make those angles there. So you got some options here on how you can put the whole system together. And then when you're done, you can fold the legs down. And then there's a little metal tab here when you take the table and push it all the way back. If you look on the underneath side here, there's a small little tab part there. That's going to line up right there with that little spring-loaded tab. And then now we can set that down, and we've got that stored on board. And then when we're done, our splash guard, it does not appear that there's a specifically designated spot for the splash guard, other than just to go ahead and drop it back down in the main basin. And so with that, we're going to go ahead and slide the table back, turn this around, lock the table back into place. There we go. So when thinking about opportunities for how this might work, and one of the things that comes to mind is if you're cutting non-square tile, so here's a piece of hexagonal tile that if you had to push it through the saw would be kind of a pain, but if you need to cut the edges off on this, you can set this up and then move it across the table where it's lined up across the fence this way. That would make that job, I think, much easier. Obviously, square tile, not a problem. You can face the tile down on the saw and cut it in any dimension. And let's just measure that with a measuring tape. Our free and clear distance of the saw blade to the fence here is about 19.5 inches. So if your tile is any longer than that, you're going to have an issue. So we saw that it came with the 4 amp hour battery, the normal one. Next wild card, does it take the ultimate output for an 8 amp hour batteries? To me, this is the kind of tool that might be the candidate that you want to put a 8 amp hour battery on. And this is a confined compartment. Does it fit? The answer is yes for the 4. And now we have the 8 amp hour battery. Lift it up. Slide in the 8 amp hour battery. There you go. Fits just fine. And we'll go ahead and turn this on. That was nice. A nice quick blade break there on the stop. That was great. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do so. This is a great time. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free to click that button. It should be right about there. And come back here soon, ring the bell, and you'll see a video of me cutting a whole bunch of tile with us and seeing just how long does one 4 amp hour battery last, or might you need to buy 2 or 3 of these batteries since this saw is cordless and there is no option to plug a cord in. And thanks to the folks behind the scenes at Kobalt for making this video possible today. If you have any other questions or comments, put it down below. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day. Bye.